Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Player Issue Podcast Cave Sessions. I am your host, Aaron Warwick. With me, as always, the ever so lovely, the always excited, very pumped to be doing this at 10 o'clock at night, which has been here for an hour, co-host, Emma Warwick. G'day, Emma.
G'day.
You've already shown me what you've been doing for the last 6 months. By the way, I'm so sorry. It has been 6 months. Before we start, yes, it's been 6 months. Very sorry. We'll get into that a little bit. We'll try not to get too much into it because we've already been accused of being sooks. So
that was a long time ago, and that person can suck my wang.
Trying to keep this family friendly, because we might have some new viewers come on from all the escapades that we've been doing the last 6 months. So
that was very polite.
Keep it calm. Keep it calm.
It was very polite. It could have been worse. I'm a new person. I'm calm. Take my frustrations out elsewhere.
So, yes, it has been 6 months. We're very sorry. It's been a long time. As you can see, things have changed a little bit here in the studio. We're still in the same studio, but you're up there now. You're not over there. So, got to get used to that. It's going to be a bit weird. Emma, the same. Emma's camera is a little bit crappy at the moment today, but that's because, as usual, when we try and start these things go wrong, and our in cameras die, and we're using a different camera for Em now. That's actually kind of a webcam, so it's really not good quality at all. But as you can see, it's not amazing, but it does the job, and luckily she makes it look pretty.
And I had to put a hat on because I was blinding everyone with my whiteness.
It was bright yellow and just looked very weird. How good is the drip, by the way? Yep, that is the new 2024 retro jacket, and it's gorgeous. And Em's very upset because I didn't buy her one.
The what?
2024 retro jacket.
No. How good is the what?
The drip. Get up with
drip?
The kids. Speak,
what
Emma.
Is the drip?
The drip. I'm wearing the drip. This is the drip.
The drip.
The drip. I'm wearing it. It's the drip.
Well, you look like a drip.
Savage. Nothing's really changed between us two, clearly. It's still bant. The bants, as they call it. Again, I'm just using the kids' lingo nowadays. How have you been, Emma? In the last, we'll just stick with the last couple of weeks. The last couple of months. Give us the last couple of months rundown of what you've been up to, as you showed us a little bit in the start of there, as the intro kicked off, what you've been doing.
Did I?
You did.
What did I do?
Bit of this, bit of that.
Oh yeah, you can't see shit. I've got my jumper on.
What have you been up to?
I can't take my jumper off to show you my guns because I'm not wearing anything underneath. Oh.
It's going to be a very short podcast.
I joined a gym, a CrossFit gym.
So you've been getting up at the crack of dawn. Actually, earlier than that. You've been up at 5 a.m. every...
No, I get up at 20 past 5.
Close enough.
So I get up at 20 past 5 and I go 6 to 7.
Right.
Yeah, do the classes Monday to Friday.
We'll show you some videos as well. You can see Em in all her glory doing her thing. Makes me look like a pudding, which is probably pretty fair, actually. That wasn't English. I actually did also join a gym a few weeks ago now. We've been once, so it's pretty impressive. Not our fault necessarily. The gym was actually closed for a fair while, so we had to wait for it to reopen, and it's reopened. And then I went the once, and I can't feel my arms for the next week and a half. So,
and I do that 5 times a week.
Yeah, well, it's been a little while since I've been to the gym, so I had to get back into it, ease back into it before we can go a bit more often. We're almost there. We'll go again. We'll start again next week. It is Saturday night, Freo game tomorrow. Brisbane and Essendon just finished, so we'll commit as of Monday. Committing after the basketball. We'll go basketball and then we'll go to the gym. How about that? Basketball's cardio, gym's weights.
Yeah, but then I miss out on Nando's.
Not necessarily. You can have Nando's and then we'll go to the gym and throw it all up again. It's no big deal.
Bon appetit.
That's the post-basketball meal is Nando's. Pretty much every week, right? Okay, so last episode, I think was February 14th, somewhere around there. I'm pretty sure that might even be spot on. It's been a chaotic year. So those who have been following along will probably know a little bit about what's been happening this year. We did go and enjoy the Elimination Chamber, WWE Elimination Chamber. That was good. 24th of February, that was. Pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure. We also started a project that is now officially out there for pre-orders, but hopefully will actually be launched officially and out there for everyone to be able to grab and put in their hot little hands, is the Fremantle book. So the Fibre of Freo, we have finally got it done. It's been made. It's been printed. It's just sitting in the Freo docks right now, the Freo port. It's been held up because apparently there is a strike in the Freo ports. Unbelievable timing. So
Typical.
yeah, typical. They're just waiting to get out of the shipping containers and head off to the dock team store at Fremantle or Coburn and be released to all the pre-orders are like ready to go. They can't wait for them to get out there. But I think there's been 500-ish pre-orders done, which is good considering the Fremantle Dockers have not done any social media marketing for it whatsoever. It's all been myself, Jack been on the radio. I think I went on the radio once. That's been a lot of fun. If you want to have a listen to that, we'll play some stuff later on, or check out the For the Anchor Instagram page. Are on there as well. But the Dockers haven't done any promotional material on that at all yet. So that's exciting. For me, I think 500 copies without any promotional work done. When they have this very powerful platform called social media, all they have to do is put something on there and away it will go. So I can't wait for that. I'm going really bright. Is it just me?
No, you did, yeah.
Woo-hoo. Turning into a ghost. But I just can't wait for that to happen. So the book is ready. It's done. It's exciting. We actually had already started it by the last episode that we did, which is I think we did actually mention it, but didn't give away too much.
I can't remember. I haven't really
it's been 6 months.
I haven't gone back and watched.
Can't remember exactly what we did, but yeah. So very excited. If you haven't already got your copy of the book sorted, we'll share a bit more about it later on. You can find out where that's going to be available and how you can get it, and some potential signings. If you want us to ruin the copy of you value the copy of the book, we'll definitely sign it for you. Had a lot of people ask for our autographs on it for some reason, so we're happy to do that. But yeah, that's kind of what we've been up to. That's been hard enough as this is all that time and effort that's gone into that, and it's taken up a lot of our time. But something unfortunate happened in our personal lives, and we have been dealing with that for the last 6 months. And really, that's the main reason why it has taken us so long to be able to do the show again, because we have been in no mental state to do so until now. And even now, it's still a struggle. Even myself, I'm glad I've stopped crying every day. That only happened in the last couple of weeks. So it's been difficult. So if you know us and you know us well, you'll know that our little fluffy chuff, our dog Milo, who was our everything, our world, she was our daughter. That's simple as that. The way we thought of her and treated her as our daughter. She's no longer with us. So that's been the hardest thing for us to overcome by a certain distance. So we will still struggle with that for quite some time, I think. And it's just a matter of fact and fact of life that, it's very difficult to deal with. And those who have lost pets will understand, I'm sure, as well. But Milo was only 7 years old, so that's, I think, the most difficult thing for us is we were not ready at all. We didn't think it was going to happen. Just complete shock. Don't really want to go too much into it because I will probably lose my shit, but we took it to the vet for a toothache and got it checked out, and unfortunately she didn't come home with us that night, and the next day we had to make the very unfortunate decision to let her go. And it's the most awful thing that anyone can ever do. And then to lay with her while she left us and hold her hand in her head was the worst thing I've ever done in my life. The hardest moment of anything ever. So that's it. Well, that's as much as we're going to talk about it, I think, because all us that know us know how much we love Milo and we'll greatly miss her. And it's still going to be a struggle for a fair while for the both of us. I'm not showing Emma on camera right now because you could probably tell because she's not doing too well over there. But we are going to power through this episode as much as we humanly can because we'd like to keep doing more episodes. So this is the last we will talk about the difficulties we've had with losing our daughter on this show. And from now on, we'll only talk about how much she meant to us and how much we loved her and all the happy memories that we had with the children will only be shared on the podcast from now on. So, thank you all very much as well for your well wishes through all that difficulty. I know there was a lot of people out there who did know about it and they were fantastic to us and for us. Particularly Dermot
I was
McKay
just
or
about to
Dougie.
say, I know you don't want to show me on camera, but like Dermot just did so much for us. If Dermot didn't organise whatever he did, I can't even remember, but if he didn't organise what he had, we wouldn't have been able to get half the stuff that we did for her, which was great because, like, obviously when we got her cremated, we could only really afford her ashes. That was it. And then Dermot did something, I can't remember if it was a raffle or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He organised something anyway, and he had organised so much for us that we were able to get like necklaces of her made. So we have her ashes with us and stuff. Like we got castings of her paws done. We got like fur clippings of hers in like frames and stuff. We got heaps more, but I can't remember what we got. But and we got like a clay paw print and stuff. Oh, and we got a crystal, which is actually one of the things I really like. It's like a crystal with a ashes in it, and it's on the windowsill. And when it's summer, the sun hits it, and it's just like rainbow all over the top of the roof. So if it wasn't for Dermot organising all that, and not even just Dermot, but everyone that actually donated or whatever they did, but mainly Dermot because he was in like, I think it was in like hours of us saying that we were going to put it down. I don't think we'd even put it down at that point.
I don't even know. Those days were an absolute blur to me. I
But
didn't even notice he was doing it.
He just instantly was like, by the way, what's your bank account? I've organised something, and he sent us all this money. And then we even had like people offering, like I think Matt, and Robert,
Yeah.
messaging us being like, "What's your bank details? We want to send you money." And most of the time we said like, we appreciate it, but we don't want your money. But it was just nice that like, yeah, everyone was just like, we want to give you something so you can get stuff done for it.
Yeah, well, at the time, I put out a post saying we needed help because at the time they were telling us that we'd need $10,000 essentially to do surgeries to keep her alive, and so we were holding on to hope that was a possibility. And I put out a call for help, basically selling jumpers and things like that. But people were messaging me saying that they just wanted to give me money to help out as much as they could, and that was amazing. So all those people that supported us through that, we really, really appreciate you. It means a lot to us, as much as Milo meant to us, as I'm sure most of you know. We really appreciate those that were trying to help us and did help us. And Dougie, we love you very much.
But not even just the money, like just people like messaging us. Like even Dermot was just like, she was a great dog. I really enjoyed her company. People that had been here before were like messaging us saying really nice things about her, just like how much that she meant to them as well. Like, oh, I really loved coming to your house and seeing her. So it was nice to know because like, fuck, that dog had an impression on everyone. I have clients that haven't come back to me yet because they just can't bring themselves to walk in that door without her.
Yeah, I don't know how many people know Rob Verhoeven because he's not as much as a collector anymore as he was. But when he first came around to our house, he said, "I don't want to meet your dog. I don't like dogs. I'm not a fan.
I'm a cat person.
Not interested in meeting your dog." And by the time he went home, which was only a couple of hours later, he said that Milo was the most beautiful thing he'd ever met, and never met anything that he fell in love with so quickly. So amazing. And he always asked, "How's Milo?" every single time he'd message, "How's Milo? How's Milo?" So yeah, she left a massive impression on a lot of people. And Blake Cook's been messaging me all the time just to see how we are. Matthew Anthony Langley. List goes on really, and I've forgotten a lot of people, and I'm really sorry, but we really appreciate all of you for reaching out to us and helping us as much as you could in difficult times, and it has been for the entire 6 months that it's been. So it has not gotten much easier, unfortunately, but we're powering through it. as much as we can. So we'll move on.
We'll leave it at that because
We'll leave it at that. But Milo, we love you and we'll miss you. All right. I'd say we'll move on, but we're going to move on to another sad little bit. And actually, shout out to this person as well, because when Milo did pass, he also reached out. So didn't know that he was actually going through his own struggles as much as he was. And well, we did know that he'd been going through it for a long, long time, but we lost another collector of ours and someone that we love dearly at the podcast and would run raffles for and do things for to help out. For Melanoma March and things like that, he asked us to help out, and we always more than happy to get involved. And you guys are fantastic as well, getting involved in the raffles and donations and things like that. But we lost a great man, a good Bulldogs man in Jeff Butcher, only fairly recently. So he's a great lad, and yeah, it was super sad to hear of his passing.
I don't think it was much longer after Milo, really, either, was it? It was probably maybe a couple of months after Milo had passed, and
Yeah,
he said, "Oh shit, Jeff's wife has messaged me," and yeah, it's pretty sad. He commented. He was always a comment on every podcast or every
Yeah.
live we did. It was always Jeff. Yeah,
yeah,
I love Jeff.
yeah. Jeff was awesome. His family's awesome. So yeah, Jeff, we'll miss you greatly. It's been a tough year.
We'll keep doing Melanoma March stuff for him.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that we missed out this year, but obviously because Jeff was going through his stuff, he was clearly too busy worrying about his own health to be able to do it. And I'm sure he was disappointed that he couldn't. And I'm sure he probably still did something because it's just the type of person he was. So we'll definitely continue that on for Jeff next year. But yeah, it's a tough year. It's been a rough year.
I know you'd say keep it PG. This year's fucked. This year has been the worst fucking year ever.
Yeah.
This year can just fuck off. You can fuck right off, honestly. What more can you take from us?
Yeah, hopefully nothing else because it's been horrendous. It's kind of been very much a Fremantle Dockers roller coaster. The season as well as just our life in general. The season's been very up and down for Freo. It's been some great moments and been some awful moments, and that's the way it is being a Freo supporter. But unfortunately, that's been our life as well this year. And not much fun at too many occasions. No. In fact, when we were actually making the book, is second or third session of shooting the photos, myself and Josh, my nephew, who was also involved in the book as well, been on the podcast as well. So we were in tears the entire time. And it was like players and coaching staff and things were coming through, and they saw that I was in no place at all to be there, and they were just giving us a hug and thanking us for what we were doing. That was pretty cool as well. But yeah, it's been rough, and even during that time we were trying to do the book, there was also a lot of tears that went along with it. Not just because we were up till 4:00 in the morning constantly doing the book, but just trying to do it without the little one by our side was not easy. So there we'll go. Well, that's it. Sad parts are over.
Done.
We're not talking about the sad parts anymore. We'll move on. And what's the best way to move on, Em? And that's with what I brought in the last few episodes of the podcast before we took our little sabbatical, and that is a joke.
Oh, it's going to be dumb, isn't it?
Of course it will be.
I remember the one you told last because you were playing the thing and it was just stupid that I even had to chuckle at it because it was just so stupid.
I actually remember what it was. It was fantastic. It was, what do you call a magician dog or something like that? A labracadabrador. I thought that was great.
And the whole time you're just like, nothing. It's just dumb. Anyway, move on.
I love this one. Okay. I think it's good. What did the beach say when the tide came in?
Beach says, bro.
Long time no see.
You're an idiot. How long did you sit there laughing at that?
Quite a while. You're actually asleep right there next to me, and I'm pissing myself laughing, going, "Oh shit! I hope you don't wake up and ask me what I'm laughing at because I won't tell you." But I really enjoyed that one.
You're an idiot. That's so dumb.
That's brilliant. What do you mean?
I've been laughing because it's pathetic.
Rough.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, as we mentioned, we've made the book. It's out there. We're going to talk about it a little bit more later on, but it's currently due out
Talk about it.
in the next few days. But at the next few days, as I said, the port's going to hold it up a little bit, but pre-orders are available right now if you go to the Dock Team Store or Fremantle Dockers Team Store online.
Also,
went really bright.
Can I just add how ironic it is that the books are stuck? The Fremantle Dockers books are stuck at the docks.
Yeah, and the people that have to get it out of the shipping containers are the dockers. So, how good is that?
That's better than your joke.
No, it's not. That's not a joke. It's real life. So
it's not a joke, Emma. You're messing with my life. Yeah.
Stop messing with my shit. Like, Jesus.
It's a joke.
It's not a joke. Like, this is real. Like, they're in the dock. The dockers have to get them out of the dock and then send them to the dockers at Coburn. Like, this is not a joke, people. This is real life here. Why are you laughing at me? I don't like this.
So upset about it.
I am. I'm very upset about this.
Stop it.
It's hard yakka. That's the wrong one. It's hard yakka. Anyway, like I said, they're available for pre-order now. $55, which I think is fantastic. It's really good value because it's 208 pages, I think. 208, 206, something like that. It's a lot of pages. Good quality book that looks great. There's a lot of fantastic features in there. We caught up and talked to and filmed a lot of players' interviews, which is awesome. Past, present, future. Yeah, you could say that. Talked to a lot of people, and we got a lot of features in there. More than just a couple of quotes, but we got full 2-page spreads of a lot of players. So they were all very much on board, and they have taken to it like duck to water.
I think it's also pretty cool that you got all like collectors involved.
Yeah. So we'll talk fully about the book later and on next week's episode, because I have confirmed we have a guest for next week's episode, Emma.
God, can we even commit to next week's episode? It took us 6 months to commit to this.
We are committing, and hopefully the cameras won't mess with us next week, and we can have this set up a little bit better than it was. We'll have 3 cameras set up next week, so that's going to be interesting. The new guest, or the guest next week, will be our writer, Jack McGinn, will be here on the show.
Okay, that's all right. I'm okay with that.
So he's going to come on next week, so we're going to give you some insights and delve into what we actually did in the book. We'll show you some exclusive interviews, because you're only going to see them here on the Player Issue podcast first, because eventually they'll get leaked out somewhere, but you'll see it here first next week. And we'll just tell you all about the makings of it, behind the scenes, give you some great footage and featurettes and all that sort of stuff that we did throughout the making of. And watch out for Channel 9 news as well in either next week or next weekend or the weekend following, because you'll see this face on the Channel 9 news with David Mundy. So
make sure you turn it off before your screen breaks.
I'm sorry, what?
Sorry, what? Sorry, were you wearing the drip?
The drip. Don't mess with the drip. Yeah, I actually don't remember what I was wearing that day. Nothing special.
Not the drip.
Not the drip, no. Okay, so that's it for the book. We won't talk about the book anymore.
No more book.
Because next week we'll
bring Jackie Boy in and get him to talk about it. The moth.
The moth.
The moth.
The moth. The moth is going to be on the show. The moth. How exciting.
Could you imagine him in this room? It's illuminated. He's going to go mental.
He'll be pinging.
He'll be mental. He's going to go mental. You're going to be like, and the moth. And he's like,
the moth is off. I can't wait for the mothy to be here. Those
Ask him to bring his
blanket. The show. Yes. Oh, yes. That's a good. I actually looked at the camera over there. It's not there anymore. It's up there. Those that know what we're talking about, the moth. I'm very excited for him to be here. We'll ask him to bring his mothy blanket. So hopefully he brings it. Mothy, if you're watching, you should be. Bring your mothy blanket. We want to see it. The people want it. The people.
The people's champion.
The people's moth.
People's moth.
That's it. No more book talk today.
It's a plane.
It's over. A moth. But pre-order now, because the book will be out very shortly. We're hoping that there will be a signing still. However, that very heavily relies on tomorrow's results between all of the games. And, of course, if Freo get in or not. If they don't, probably won't be a signing because the players will be on holidays as of Monday. That'll be a bit upsetting. But if they get through, we should have a team signing at the Dock team store, the Dockers team store, with a few of the players. And yours truly and Mr. Mothy as well. They're signing autographs. So fingers crossed they get through and we can do that. And that'll be a really cool day. Like I said, no more book talk.
No more book talk.
We've also bought electric scooters, and that has been one of the best investments we've had in a long time, I reckon, because it's been a lot of fun. We got pure luck with that. We were walking back from the footy, got to our car, and there happened to be a scooter, one of those ones that they hire in the cities. There's a beam scooter
A beam, yeah.
sitting right next to my passenger door. And I said, screw it, let's jump on and go for a ride. Like, don't know how we do it or if we can even do it. So I said, you go first because at least if I try and go on
At
it,
least if
doesn't.
you fall off, then I won't go on it.
No. Well, what meant was, at least if there's embarrassment and I can't actually go on it because it won't move with me on there, you'll at least have had your fun. But thankfully, it did, and it was a lot of fun. So after that, we went and bought scooters.
So you can guarantee when he walked in the door the next day after work, he comes in with a flippin' scooter.
Yeah, very next day.
Just a scooter for himself, though, and then we go down to the park and you're scootering and I'm rollerblading.
Yeah.
Because there was no scooter for me. Yeah.
1,000 plus. My one's $1,600. Yours. She ended up getting a better one than me. She ended up
mine
getting
looks better
an
than yours.
$1,800 scooter. I had a $1,600 scooter. So shut up. But no, they're a lot of fun. If you haven't
really
gone
good.
on electric scooters, do it because we have seen more of our own city than we've ever seen in the 30 plus years that we've been on this earth, just because we've taken the scooters out and gone down back roads or gone around the Swan River multiple times.
Even getting to the footy is easier because we park miles away.
Yeah.
And scooter to the footy and then we lock up our scooters.
The one thing I hated about going to the footy at Optus is the parking is so bad because there isn't any because they don't want you to drive. But then this year is horrendous because there's no transport.
Trains.
So getting there and back is so hard this year. It's absolutely been a nightmare. So the best thing we ever did was buy these scooters so we can go and park an hour walk away, jump on the scooters. We're in there 5-10 minutes later. But we've enjoyed it so much. So we've been getting there an hour before, scooting around the entire Swan River, taking our time, just enjoying it, and then locking our scooters up at the bike racks out the front of the stadium. In we go, come out, flog past everybody on the way out. That's been great fun.
It's terrifying on the bridge, though.
You can tell people don't like it.
Oh, no. You can tell they get pissy at you when you pass them. Oh, what about like the amount of times I've almost taken people out because they just walk into me?
Yeah, well, that's the annoying thing is well, I can see why people hated it. And I was also one of these people I was like, Jesus. But that's because the way people ride the damn scooters is they're dangerous because they flog through, they flog past
But people also have no awareness.
Well, that's right, yeah. But
some people just have no flipping awareness. What about that guy I almost took out the other day?
We got that on camera too. So that one's on YouTube. So we actually filmed that where we did our last ride from all the way around the Swan River to the stadium. Unfortunately, I had it was on my phone on the handlebar, so it's not as good a footage as it could be because every time we go, we forget the damn GoPro to stick on my head and have decent footage. But yeah. We ring the bell. So that's the thing. We ring the bell to make sure that people know we're there. But then people just don't hear it or don't listen.
Well, this guy I almost hit was he had two women on the side of the footpath. He's standing on the footpath.
Which is not a footpath, by the way. It's a bike path.
Okay. So anyway, he's on this path. And so I go around him and then all of a sudden he's walking backwards, talking to them still, walking backwards into me. And I'm dinging my bell at him, and all of a sudden he turns around, and we were like this close to each other. I'm pretty sure I elbowed him.
Oh, yeah. No, I think he missed him, but he shit himself.
Oh yeah, but he had no spatial awareness. Like he had no awareness that I was there. He was just walking backwards. Why were you walking backwards? And then slightly on the other side was two kids playing soccer on the footpath. Like, why are you playing soccer on the footpath?
It's worse because it's a bike path. Like I can understand if it's a footpath because people aren't going to walk into you, but it's a damn bike path.
No, people have no spatial awareness, and yeah, you can see they get pissy at us when we go past. But there was once that guy, and we're dinging the bell, dinging it, and then we finally got to him, and he's like, "I heard you. I did hear you.
Just didn't move.
I just didn't want to move."
Yeah, so that's the thing is some people like they they don't care, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool." Like a lot of people were like, "Oh, that looks like fun,"
Mm.
or "Oh, that's cool." Like I wish I could jump on that, or "Oh, take me for a ride." A lot of people say that.
How much for your scooter?
But then there's also idiots who they think that scooters just shouldn't be a thing, so they refuse to move because they just they just have no care for it, so they just do not move at all.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. Like I'm trying to actually get more people to buy scooters and just go out and enjoy them because it's actually so much fun. That I can see why they have them all throughout the cities now because you can get places to and from so much quicker. Um, yes, it's a little less exercise, but you're not going to walk an hour and a half just to go to the footy if you can avoid it. You
Mm.
can jump on their scooter, ride in. It's a beautiful ride. 10 minutes, you're there, and you got plenty of time to enjoy everything. So, yeah, we've been parking miles away from the stadium and just scooter in because it's just so much easier. So, that's been our most fun thing, I think, that we've done this year is buy these electric scooters. And so we've done a lot. But yeah, it's been a very up and down year. Check out that video on YouTube. We'll upload a lot more because I think we'll do it. We'll start putting GoPros on the heads and getting some weird videos or some great videos rather. I think I've lost Sam. I don't know where she's gone, but
No, I was just laughing. You get some weird videos. Yeah. Yeah. Why not?
I thought I was talking to myself for a while
I'm
there.
listening.
Anyway, so as a 316, I'm pretty sure that YouTube is. I'll drop that somewhere so you can watch the video if you like. But that one's probably a little bit boring, the first one, because it is just dead straight the whole way. But it's got some pretty nice visuals. But we'll put up some more. We'll put some. We'll use the GoPro tomorrow on the way to the footy as well, and we'll properly get some good footage and upload that. So it'll look super cool, I reckon.
Hello.
We'll go with feedback.
Feedback.
Is the next segment. And I only really have one because it's been that long that
Everyone's
I don't
forgotten
think
about
anyone
us.
actually commented on the last video. So, well, if they did, I didn't bring it up. That's just pretty dumb. No, sorry. No, actually, no. Someone did comment. That's what I have here. So there's only one comment. And it was Brad Judd from the last episode, or Diary of a Flipper is his.
It's a beautiful name.
I think it's his YouTube name.
Oh.
I bought something rather off of him. Can't remember what it was. It's been that long now.
God, we're useless at this, aren't we?
But he wrote a comment on the show on the last episode,
That's nice.
and it's actually incredibly long. So I probably won't read. You know what? I'll put it up for everybody.
Do you know what? It's going to take 7 to 10 business days to read.
She's loving this sentence.
I love saying
at the moment. But anyway, we'll read through it, and we'll get as much of it as we can. You guys can read through as well because I put it on the screen. But he said, "I somehow missed this episode, but appreciate the kind words." I don't know what I remember what I said. Sorry,
You're
Brad,
welcome.
but I'm sure it was great.
You're welcome.
You're very welcome. I've spoken a lot about good flippers and bad flippers, and this is very important. Actually, what he says here. This is why I'm reading it out because there's a lot of talk about flippers and the difference between people who are good flippers and bad flippers. I'll just leave it at that.
Some flippers are good for swimming. Some flippers are not. You just got to get the better quality ones.
Yep, what she said. Okay, so Brad says, as a passionate collector that has paid way overs for things that I need, not just jumpers, but other things, also someone who sells secondhand items to make a living, I fully see both sides. There's definitely people that take the piss and disrespect the collecting side of things, but there are many genuine people out there as well. I find a lot of people that are resellers to a large extent are often large collectors of something, and that this is definitely a way to afford their collection, which I agree with because I can't afford to go and spend $1,500 on jumpers constantly. I have to in and out sometimes to do so. As we all know, some of these jumpers can cost a bit. I should probably just keep reading before I start speaking. I think honesty is the key. I deal with many other collectors, and I literally spend every day of my life not just looking for jumpers, but many different markets of collectible items that a lot of other collectors may not find unless they're literally in the right place at the right time. Example, storage units, op shops, garage sales, etc. I still hate the idea of someone seeking a particular collector just to resell and make money from them. And that is a major thing that I particularly hate. Like yourself and others, I buy off and sell too. I buy off and sell too. So like yourself, he buys off me,
Yeah.
and sell to as well.
Yeah.
If I see something you may like, I will just send the deal direct to you and let you have the fun of the haggle. Reputation is everything in collecting, but also reselling, and you can lose that very fast by simply being a dog. I do have something in the works, reseller versus collector, coming up on my channel, where I'm going to break it down from both sides of the fence and to chat to many different people, including a name and shame section of bitumen collectors and reseller dodgy tactics. Definitely happy to talk further about my experiences in both sides through and chat openly. So love that. And I don't know if he's done that yet or not, because like I said, this is 6 months ago, or probably 3 or 4 months ago since he made the comment. But I agree with so much of that, because there is good sides and bad sides to flipping or reselling. Because quite often I'll see like people will go and they'll buy something from a garage sale or an op shop, especially op shops, and then they'll go and put it up, and people will say, "Oh, you bought that from an op shop. Why are you selling it for so much?" But that doesn't matter, because if Joe Blogs, who doesn't follow football, couldn't care less about the game, is just buying it because it's a shirt to wear on the weekend. If Joe Blogs went and bought that, tore it to shreds, and you never saw that out in the wild ever again, and people would think, "Oh, I wonder what ever happened to this particular jumper." It never got seen, never saw it. Or if someone, a collector, went and bought it and then put it on the page and said, "Well, here's this opportunity for people to own this thing that may never have been seen again because it was in such a random place. Here you go, have at it." I think that is far better than having the opportunity to buy something that may never have had the opportunity to before, than just being disappeared forever.
Yeah, but also, like, if you say you sell this guy that has left the comment, say you sell him a jumper for $200, and it might be worth that at the time, and he has it sitting in his cupboard for 3 months, and then goes, "Oh, actually, do you know what? I found a jumper, same jumper, better number or better player. So what I'll do is I'll sell the one that I bought off Erin to get the money for that to buy the better one that I would much rather prefer." So say you have an Indigenous Sonny Walters and David Mundy comes up. You'd much rather the David Mundy. So you sell the Sonny Walters. So whoever you bought the Sonny Walters off, if they sold it to you for, say, $200. If you go and then put it up for $450 and they get all pissy at you, I mean, at the end of the day, it's now your jumper. You can put it up for $450. Doesn't mean that's what you're going to get for it.
Yeah.
But it's your jumper. It's not your fault that he only asked for $200. You know?
It also comes down to, in this particular hobby, things go
up in value
all the time.
Yes.
Up and down. So I could have bought that for $200 and maybe one day put it up for $400 and not sell.
Yep.
And then eventually someone offers me $150 and there is just no market to sell it for any more than $150.
But you might have say bought this, again, going back to what I was saying, you may have bought that Sonny Walters at the time that Sonny was having a terrible flipping year, so no one wanted Sonny's stuff. So then you could then go and buy another one, another player, and in that time, Sonny might have had a really good year, and so then his jumpers have skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I think coming back to Brad's point is there's actually something on Facebook Marketplace, or eBay now, where it's kind of the perfect example. In an op shop in Victoria, I think probably, there was a whole rack full of Richmond VFL jumpers, and they were selling it for $25 each. Somebody put up a post on the Match One Playership page saying, "Here's these jumpers. Feel free to go have a look." And within 20 minutes, apparently they were all gone. Now they've shown up on eBay, all of them, so clearly someone's gone, "Oh shit, I want to go get those,"
and
went and bought the whole lot of them, and they were gone. But the thing is, he's probably copying shit for that, which is, I think, completely unfair, because people who aren't in Victoria would also probably like to own some of these jumpers,
Mm.
and they may not know someone who can go get it for them,
Yeah.
or don't have their name out there, so
But it's
no one's not going to
also
offer it to them. So the opportunity for them to buy those particular jumpers is really only going to come if someone does go and buy them and puts them in an avenue where they can purchase them,
Yeah.
which happens to be they bought all 25 of them and they're now all 25 on eBay
Yeah.
for a little bit more. They put the effort in to do that. They're going to ship it, do all this and that. So if they make a little bit of money of it, so be it. And if that person's happy to buy it for those prices, then who cares?
But you also can't get annoyed at someone for being at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
It's not their fault that you got there before them.
No.
If you got there at the right time and you want to buy them all, then go for your life. Like, it's that you bought them.
Yeah.
You can sell them for what you want.
Yeah.
Just because you put them up for, say, like I said, $450 doesn't mean they're going to sell. If that's what you think they're worth, they'll probably sit there for a bit. Don't get angry at people, for Christ's sake.
No.
But it's the people that do it wrong. It's the people that do dodgy things behind your back. That's when it's like gets wrong.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, like this community is so tight knit that, you know, don't shit on anyone.
No.
Because
yeah.
you know, it just yeah.
Don't be a dog.
Don't be a dog. I could go on forever with that, but
yeah,
I won't.
Yeah, and there are occasions and examples of that, and eBay is definitely one of them where I've seen many occasions, and it's happened to myself, where I've won a jumper on eBay and thought, beauty, I've just got a great deal. And often if you're the first person to purchase that jumper or that person, you're often disadvantaged for purchasing it at the price that you did, because someone inevitably will jump in behind your back, email or message the person on
and offer
the seller and offer them so much more money that they just go, oh shit, yeah, I'm taking that. So go back to the original buyer and say, I actually accidentally don't even have this jumper because I sold it a long time ago and it was a mistake, blah, 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 bullshit.
Yeah.
Just because they've sold it to someone else for a lot more money. And that is dog act by the person emailing and asking for that jumper. I mean, really, it's hard because it's not their fault that the seller has agreed to sell
You're dangling someone $500 in front of their face or $200. What do you think they're going to take?
Yeah, and I just think if you do that, you got to be super careful, because if you're being the dog to somebody who is a reputable collector and you don't want your name dragged in the dirt because you've done that to that person, I wouldn't recommend it. I haven't done it myself, because if I've missed out, it's probably gone to somebody that I know and they beat me to it. So fair game, they win. Like, this is what it is. And eventually one will come my way and it is. But I'm not going to ruin my reputation or drag my name through the dirt.
And you don't want to step on your mate's toes.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Because do you know what? At the end of the day, if you do that and then you go and post every jumper that you put on Facebook, that person's going to see it and be like, well, I had that. So you're the person that did that to me, and you're just going to look like a dick.
Yeah, it happens far too often now. So I really don't like eBay anymore. I actually hate it.
No, eBay should actually somehow try and control that.
Yeah, well, there are ways for them to do it, but I don't think they do it well at all, because I know they can monitor meshes and they should be able to see that happening and put a stop to it.
Especially if something is sold. If something is sold, then that's it.
All they can actually do, well, they can ban the sellers and stuff like that, but all they really do is they charge them extra fees because they can see how much they've sold them for or whatever, and they can do that. But it's really hard to be able to keep up with that the whole way. But if you're doing that, either be super careful when you do, because you could get your reputation ruined, or just don't do it and just try and get the next one. Because if that person knows you've done it to them, then what's going to happen? They're not going to want to deal with you or help you out in any way in the future because you've screwed them.
You can even message that person and say, hey, Erin, I've noticed that you bought this on eBay. I really wanted it. Could I buy it off you or take it off your hands? You know, and you would probably say, I'd rather keep on hold of it for now, but if I ever do sell it, I can let you know. And you'll remember.
Oh, that's a good point as well. If someone's bought it for $200, let's just say, I don't know what we're talking about here, but $200, and you go and offer the seller $900, what's better to do? I would say wait till that person's received their jumper and then say, hey, mate, I know you bought it for $200 off eBay, but would you take $900 for it? At least you're doing the right thing then, and they can have the opportunity to say yes or no. Oh, I'm going to make $700. Yeah, right. Or no, I actually really want this because I need it for a particular reason. and explain why. And
Yeah.
then you'll probably think, oh, actually, maybe I don't need this as much as he does or they do. So, yeah, I think that's a better way about going about it. But everyone does things differently, and some people just want to just get everything,
What up, everyone?
rule the roost a little bit. So if you're going to do that, just be careful because you don't want to ruin your reputation in this sort of hobby because it can very easily happen. I've seen it many, many times. Brad, thank you very much for your feedback. Sorry it's taken us a few months to get to it, but I actually am really looking forward to reading about that as well. I will hit you up and we'll have a chat about it and see if you've actually done what you said about doing stuff on your channel because I would love to hear about it and share a little bit here on the pod. It'd be great. Next thing, your favorite segment.
My favourite segment?
Mhm.
Scammers.
No.
Damn it.
Well, actually, do you know what? All right, fair enough. Let's do it. Scammers. I wasn't.
I feel like we need like a, favourite segment, and I've got scammers.
No, I was thinking more of the siren and the flash and
I say you went aggressive. You just went super aggressive. I was thinking a rainbow and just being like scammers.
I'm the
See?
super aggressive one. If anyone's watched this show and they've seen the
Sorry.
scammer segments, you, my friend, go straight into the C word 150 times until.
Wait a minute. I'm a changed person. I am taking my frustrations out in the gym. I am very calm. Did you not notice scammers? I wasn't just like fucking scammers. No, I was like scammers.
Okay, well, all right.
So here we are.
We'll go to scammers because it wasn't on my run sheet. I wasn't going to talk about it.
Good.
But
I mean, that's good.
previous episodes, we've talked about how Blake Cook has been screwed over by
Is that still
Jumper.
going?
Well, it's been screwed over by a buyer.
We live in the same house and we haven't spoken.
We haven't.
Is it still going?
He's been screwed over. I can't remember the dude's name. I just remember his name's Ethan.
Sounds like
as a Gold Coast collector jumper, I'm assuming it's Gold Coast jumpers that he sold to Blake, and they never arrived. And it was an ongoing thing, and you can see it on the previous episodes where I'd put up screenshots, etc.
He hasn't even got any tea towels or anything yet?
No, nothing. He sent nothing. So, however, just the other day or a week or two ago, Blake sent me a screenshot that was from this Ethan person with a screenshot of a bank transfer. He transferred him back all the money that Blake sent him a year ago or so now and said, sorry for being a dick. So either it worked, what we did helped, and Blake did say thank you for your help. So I'm going to assume that Ethan probably does watch the podcast. So thank you for doing the right thing, Ethan.
But he's still a dick. You've obviously acknowledged you're a dick. So.
Or he just doesn't watch it and he did the right thing anyway.
He's getting a conscience.
Yes. So, look, well done to you because let's be honest, most scammers don't do that. So, well done. Good job. We do think it's a good job by you to do that.
Look, if you do watch this, you've done the right thing. Yes, it took you a little bit too long, but you've done the right thing. But just don't do it again. Like, just stay on the right path.
I'm pretty sure you actually said that you hoped this person exploded like the Titan, whatever it was called.
Oh, yes. Yes, I did. I was such an angry person.
It was also...
I won't say it because you'll have to beep it out, but I'll just,
a BFC, I would like to say, yeah, a BFC. So, thankfully has found his ways and probably saw your rant and you go apeshit and thought, I don't want to be a BFC. I don't want to blow up with the Titan. Was it called the Titan? Was that what it was? No, it wasn't James Cameron, was it? It was
the ship that
imploded.
Was it?
I can't remember.
Pacific?
No.
It was something. Anyway, yes.
It wasn't.
I think it was Titan, yes.
It's called the Titan. I don't care. But yeah, I assume he just didn't want to blow up or implode like that ship that imploded.
I put bad juju on him.
He put very bad juju. So,
and now I go to the gym, mate, so you got more to fear of me. More to fear of me. I got guns now.
Well, he has a conscience, and now he has scrubbed his soul.
Good on him.
And he is a good human being again. So well done to you. Let's hope you're on the right way, right path. The collecting is now a good hobby to you, and you are good to it. That's the main thing. So, Blake, we are glad we could help you, mate. And I'm glad that saga is over because I haven't had too many sagas like that where it's been a good ending.
Ending.
Yep. So there you go. Segment thrown in there that I wasn't going to talk about today, but
okay. Anyway,
your favourite segment.
Here's my favourite segment then. Mail day.
Mail day.
Hang on, I got to work on it. Mail day. Look, I'm a rusty. It's been a bit. It's been a bit. I've got to work on my mail day. I need to hear it.
We're not going to go through every mail day that we have had in the 6 months because we'll be here forever.
Too many.
So as you can see, actually behind M's head, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All 5 of those jumpers there were recent mail day editions, as a matter of fact. So, that was well done. You've got the 2024 Indigenous Josh Draper on the right-hand side. Then you got Jeremy Sharps, both match worn, COA unwashed. Actually, the Draper was washed, so I was a little bit disappointed about that.
Really?
Yeah, very annoyed. Then you've got the Richmond Tigers Coulthard, Matthew Coulthard. Also 2024 Alana and Madeline Foundation jumper. Love it. Every time one comes up, I always want to buy it because I just really like it. The purple, obviously we love purple anyway, but it just looks so good.
I thought purple on a Tigers jumper would have worked.
No.
But it does.
It really does. Then you got the 2013 ACT Reece Palmer jumper. He obviously played for Freo, so good reason why I got Reece Palmer, but I just love the jumper. The IC feather design is just so good, of the material rather, is just so good anyway. I had to have it. And of course, Sports GA, or Sports Gear Australia, had a 50% off. I think it was 50% off. Pretty sure it was. Deal at the time. So I took up on that and bought 5 jumpers. So I think I did quite well out of that. And they've always got stuff going on, and I think they've got some stuff on there right now. So make sure you go check out Sports Gear Australia or sportsga.com.au. Get yourself some great deals. Yeah, they're great. I love them. And then you got the Zach Butters retro from 2023 on the end there as well. You can't see it. It's out of camera, unfortunately, but we've got a Erling Haaland jersey just to the right of the Josh Draper there. Erling Haaland's player-issued 2023 Champions League final jersey. So that's really cool. Love that. The great beast himself, Erling Haaland. What a man. Scored last week as well in the return to the Premier League. So 100 goals in the Premier League already is pretty nuts. Or 100 goals for Manchester City. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to show you. I do have a couple more, actually. We'll show you the couple here because we've got 2 more that came from Port Adelaide. They ran I'm not even going to say mid-season sale because it was only a few weeks ago and it was near the end of the season, which is quite weird, but it was cool. Like online thing. Well, they did in-store as well, sorry. So they did an in-store sale and they also chucked a whole bunch online, which was really cool. Which I don't think they do that all often. So I picked up 2 from that sale. First one will show, it's not going to look good.
That's why I said pass them to me.
How's it going to
You're not the knack. You're not the
2024 retro. It's obviously based on the 2004 Premiership season. I don't know. I actually really like last year's much better than this. I think just the gap in design on one side to the other just looks weird to me a little bit.
The MG logo is not exactly great either.
That's all right, but I like the SBS design. There's a lot of distance between the
there is a bit, isn't
design. I've never noticed that before until I just hung it up, and I just thought that is the reason why I don't quite rate it. And the collar just doesn't work for this design, but otherwise, I do like it. It is good. I just actually prefer last year's. I think
they have that weird material on the front and it's like the front and the back material is completely different.
Completely different. So the front is a very rough material. Super rough, and then the back is just a normal material.
It's not rough on the inside. It's actually very smooth. I was thinking, that rough would feel terrible in your nipples. But
I think it's something to do with like showers.
You only just realised what I said.
Actually. It's like a basketball jersey. Most basketball players, NBA players, will have singlets underneath or skins because the material just rubs so bad on the nipples. You get massive nipple chafe. It's the worst feeling.
No, it's actually really nice on the inside.
Yeah, it is. They're actually really. I do like Macron. I don't like Macron in how long they have to wait and have to order in advance and the cost, blah, 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 blah. So, but they have re-signed again, I believe, Macron with Port Adelaide, so they'll be stuck with them for a while.
Right.
But they do make good jumpers. We'll give it to them. They do make good stuff. This one's Travis Boak, so yeah, I was happy with that. I think I paid $400, so it's not bad for a Travis bloke.
Mm.
Em's got the other one that I picked up, which is also 2024, and it's an Indigenous home. And I love that design. It looks so simplistic, but it's so good. In hand, it's
Everything
beautiful.
is like right down to like the tag and everything.
It's so good. It's such a good design. This one is far better than the away one. I don't like the away. The design's actually exactly the same, but the black just pops so good on this design. And it's also a Zach Butters, so there's no way I'm saying no. I was hoping to get a Connor Rosie because I obviously already have a
Prints on
Butters,
it.
but yeah, a great design. Port
I
has
like it.
done fantastic Indigenous jumpers. So I don't think they've had a miss yet, really.
Rated theirs as the best last time, didn't I? Oh no, I rated it was between theirs
You
and
had
Eagles.
West Coast as the best.
But I did like the Port one too.
Very highly rated,
Yeah,
yes.
no, I do really like their Indigenous. They're nice.
That one cost me $400 as well. But yeah, I really rate this jumper. It's fantastic.
That's nice.
Thank you. So well done, Port Adelaide, for running that. I do wonder how much they're going to have at their end of season sale, which they'll no doubt do as well. No idea. If they'll even do it, I guess, I suppose. But I'm assuming they will. But it'd just be interesting to see how much they have. I do feel like those jumpers that they put up on their website, I don't know where they came from because they all got delivered from Victoria, which is really weird. So I don't know. I feel like they're just extras that had floating around and never intended on using them. I don't know. That was a really weird thing to see them come from Victoria. But yeah. Anyway, there's another thing I want to talk about, and that is the last thing that I got. It wasn't mail because I went and picked it up, but I've got this one. Yeah, wrong side again, you dickhead. Oh, that smells. I didn't even realize that.
Because your nose is right where the underarm is.
This is a 2022 home jumper, match worn, clearly. It reeks. My God. This is the only problem with fixing my nose is I can smell things.
He's a sweaty boy.
It's a sweaty boy. Very awful signature on the front there, but it is signed by our current gun forward, who looks like he's going to be the player of the future for us in terms of replacing Pavlich, and that's Josh Tracy. So this is what I want to talk about. Well, the good thing is with this, he only wore the home jumper once that season, and it was against North Melbourne in round 8. So it was very easy to figure out exactly where it came from.
Why is there 2 white programmed on the back?
Because this is, well, when they started the COVID double sponsor in 2020, they had, double sponsor because they didn't sell different sponsors
That looks stupid.
different spots. So basically programmed, and Woodside just paid a little bit more money to get double exposure on the back of their jumper. So
makes sense.
Yeah, it is what it is. And now they've kind of mixed it up a bit and makes a little bit more sense. But so what I wanted to talk about, or want you guys to talk about, is how much do you or should you pay players to buy jumpers off them? Because I bought that one directly off Josh himself. I hooked him up with a TV a month or so ago, saved him a very good chunk of money. And Scott Harrison, good man, was able to hook up myself with Josh again to get that jumper because I only have one Josh jumper and I want to get as many as I can now because it's going to be a gun, and I have had that exact jumper, just 2021, but they're the same design, exactly the same. I've had that jumper and I just had to get one that was worn and in Josh's hands, so I thought I'll pay what I got to pay. But
and kind of cool to say you bought it off him.
Well, that's kind of the main thing, I guess, with it is why I bought it for so much. I paid $500 for it, and the only reason I think I paid $500 was because I was buying it directly off him.
But you could have also knocked you over with a feather when he told you he wanted $500 for it.
To be fair, they asked me how much I would typically pay. I said between $300 to $400. I don't know if that's being cheap, but for Freo jumpers, that's fair. Like $300 to $400 for a plain home design. If it was a one-off design,
and whose player
fair
it
enough. Then it's worth more, obviously. But again, that's down to personal preference as well. So I'm asking you guys, how much do you pay, or would you pay, for a jumper off a player or a good player? Like Josh is going to be a good player. Is he one of the superstars of the competition now? Not yet, but I think he's going to be. So I guess that also factors in. yeah, so I'm curious. What have you paid for a player's jumper directly off them? Have you had the experience of going and purchasing it off them directly, meeting face to face, getting a photo maybe with the jumper? I missed out on that part. So the jumper was left at the team store. I went and picked it up, and I left him a whole bunch of 20s for it. So, but yeah, do you think that you need to meet the player when you buy a jumper off them for that experience? And especially if you're paying a good amount of money for it, or are you happy to have them just send it to you, or go and pick it up from somewhere else and it's not from them? That's what I want to know. Drop a comment down below or send us a message. You know what? Leave us a voice memo. I want to play some voice memos on here because we want to hear your voice, and it's better than hearing
More
our
interactive,
voice.
yeah.
Much more interactive. It's better than hearing our voice constantly as well. So leave us a voice memo. We'd love to hear and play them on the shows. What do you think? What would you like to see? What do you pay, etc. Stories. Give us stories. We'd love to hear them. Em, there is plenty more jumpers around the room right now, as a matter of fact, that we got as mail day, but we're going to call it a day for mail day because there's way too many. We still have 2 more segments, but before we get to that, we have had a few video submissions from when we asked about that David Mundy thing over there. People wanting to win that, but only one person really put in the efforts. So,
And to be honest, I don't think he really wants to win it anyway.
no, I think he just honestly wanted to get his kids on the show, and that's exactly what we're going to do right now. So, Blake Cook has sent through a submission. I think we've actually had them on show before, but this is his submission for what he and his kids thought what it looked like to go to a Fremantle Dockers locker room sale. So Shelby and Oscar, take it away.
Just come out to tell you we've got 5 more minutes till the doors open, so make sure you pack everything up and get ready to go, okay? How long have you been waiting here for?
Forever. I'm so tired.
So what are you going to try and buy at the Fremantle Docker sale?
Some boots.
Boots? What are you going
Boots
to
and jumpers.
And jumpers.
Yeah,
Are we
I'm
looking after any players or just what we can get?
Nah, just what we can get.
Maybe the pretty Starlight jumpers?
We're having a photo for Daddy's best friend.
Okay guys, sales opened.
Thanks. Locker sale. Here we go.
1 minute per item, guys. Come on.
Not as much as I can. Not as much as I can. Going for the gold. For the gold. I'm gonna know.
So there you go, Em.
That was funny.
What do you think about
That's hilarious.
Shelby and Oscar's?
You've been here forever. That's me.
I think they absolutely nailed
It's
that.
my spirit animal.
They've nailed everything from the how long to the tired. What are you going to buy?
Single thing that he said was me. It's like, how long have you been here forever? What are you going to do? You're going to go for specific places? Whatever you can get. Whatever you can get.
Oh, I actually really like the running from the door opening, just bolting.
Did you
It
see on
nailed
the
it.
door?
It's perfect.
There was a sign that
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
sale.
So Shelby and Oscar, and of course Blake, you've absolutely nailed that.
That was
Little
fantastic.
champions. I can't wait for the next locker room sale. I'll be thinking of you guys when we run through the hallway.
And you make sure when we do the next locker room sale, you film me and be like, how long have you been sitting here for? Emma will be like, forever.
Speaking of the next locker room sale, that's only like 2 months away.
2 or 3 months.
3 months away, maybe.
3 months away, yeah.
So be ready for that. 2.5 months, I reckon it will be. I'm
Bringing the swag. We are not sleeping in the car again. That was, I mean, I was okay, but you wouldn't
I
shut
was
up,
not.
so I couldn't get much sleep.
I was cramped. My legs were not. My
Turns
knee,
out it's not as much room in your car as we thought there was.
No, my knee was killing me by the end of it. So I had
swag
to
it
jump
is.
out of there. So swag this year, 100% we're committing. Swag we're taking. Tent City, Swag City. Let's do it. Join us on the show or join us on the night because it is
We'll
good
get
fun.
the sausages and that out again.
That was so good. The best thing we did was get the sausages out. Everyone loved them.
Everyone loves sausages.
And people were having them in the morning as well.
Yeah.
But we weren't even awake and people were making
Yeah.
sausages.
Yeah, I woke up and someone had cranked our bloody thing and I think it was Craig. Craig Hall.
Oh, yeah.
He was cracking the sausages, and then he got really upset because he thought he missed me rollerblading, and I was like, "Nah, I didn't even do it."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Did I miss it?" No.
So it is a great night. So make sure you come down. We'll be there early again, 7 to 8 o'clock, something like that.
Let's do it.
And we're just going to have another cracking night. We'll do a podcast this time. Might even do a live podcast. Probably will. We'll bring down the equipment, everything. We'll do a show in the line. We'll just talk to some people in the line. We'll just make some good time of it. But I kind of want to do something a little different as well this year because people will like seeing the videos that the social media team from Freo do.
Mm.
I've actually been sent quite a few of them lately where they see people dawdle in, or the differences between the first few to the last one where people just dawdled in and casually walked around and grabbed stuff. And it was very orderly until this one when people were running in, elbows were flying, and it was just jumpers flying all over the place. So big difference. But so people like seeing those videos. So I'm thinking people might want to see from our perspective. Might wear a chest.
Oh yeah, like a GoPro.
A GoPro on my chest. So I'm going to
that's
wear
good
a
idea.
chest harness this year, so you can all see from my view what's happening.
Don't do it from my view because I walk in and I'm just like, and then it's like, okay, I'm going to go sit down now.
So if you want to see that, you want to see me wear a GoPro chest harness for the locker room sale this year, so you can see from my perspective what's going on as it happens. Let me know because I'll do it.
We also haven't forgotten about the videos and the interviews we did at the last locker room sale, but my idea to Aaron was, why don't we, since it's been so long because of everything that's happened, we're going to, when it gets closer to the locker room sale, we're going to do put the videos together in the podcast and that, so you can see what it's like and what to expect and sort of thing. Yeah.
So in the lead up, we'll share some more videos and we'll have a chat about it. And
we haven't forgotten about them. The interviews are still there. It's just shit happened, and
we did some really cool interviews that day, so
Yeah.
we'll still share those and got some great footage. Really, the problem I had with that was my camera was so good, my computer was so crap that my computer couldn't handle the rendering of the videos, and I couldn't edit them. So that was actually the problem, was I couldn't edit them to share them because they were too high quality. It's crazy that I never actually thought that would be a problem, but got a slightly better computer now that can handle it, so we can finally edit them, do them properly, and we'll be able to share them in the coming months because we want to build the excitement and have something for you guys to look forward to and watch the podcast for. So, but I think that'll be great fun, is doing a podcast there and having some sausages and then wearing a chesty so people can see what goes on. I think this will be really
Fun.
cool. So keep an eye out for that. You, my friend, have some viewer questions.
do I?
Yeah.
Oh, I do. I
You
do.
Mm-hmm. So, sorry, I did that wrong. But the next segment is viewer questions. Oh, I can't do this properly now because I'm looking over there. My arms are not in the frame. How am I going to do this? There we go. All right. Next segment we have
It's like a
viewer questions.
just you do your spirit fingers. Just work it from the top down. No, okay.
All right.
All right.
That's for later. Emma,
Yes.
first question.
From Heath O'Donovan. What do you think Essendon's best option would be for a Clash Guernsey?
Definitely not this year's. That thing is hideous. I had a lot more words run through my head then, but PG. Hideous, disgusting, terrible thing it is. Last year's, what did they have? I actually like last year's, but it was just all red. I guess most people didn't like that because it was just all solid red. But I think it was 2018. I had a Tip and Woody one, which actually you sold me, Heath. I actually really like that. That's probably the best one. I'll chuck up a photo, but I think they put up a poll this year during the year just before they wore the jumper on what one that people wanted to see. I thought that was well and truly done because before the season started, there were pictures of that jumper that won the poll already out there. So I think that poll was a load of bullshit, and they kind of faked that, and they already had the jumpers made anyway. So that was a weird poll to go up. And I can imagine that the poll they put up for next year is probably going to be the same thing again. But I'd like to see the all red with the black sash. It's the only thing that really works as a
I like
clash.
that. Yeah.
So,
The red on red.
red on red, but with a black sash. So the red on red from 2013 was good, and we got a couple.
Mm.
But it looked for me, it looked a little bit too much like a training jumper.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
yeah.
I think just have that black sash. It literally just inverts the
Yeah,
current
yeah,
jumper,
yeah,
home
yeah.
jumper. So for me, that's the best one, Heath. I actually really like that. I don't like any of the greys. The greys didn't make sense for me. Didn't like them. Shit house. No good. Don't do it. Thanks, Heath. Appreciate you, mate.
Alex Emery.
Yep.
Is that how you say it? Name your top 5 designs of Fremantle Guernsey history.
Joe, every time I do these viewer questions, I always say to myself, I need to research before I do the show because I don't remember.
Just like
Right.
you said to me, let's do a podcast. I've got everything working. And here we were an hour and a half later. All the cameras don't work.
Well, that's not my fault. There's something wrong with that camera because I charge
Yeah,
that for
yeah, let's
days
blame
and
the
it
camera.
wouldn't work for days.
Excuse
you know
me.
that.
A good tradesman doesn't blame his tools.
Yeah, well, I'm not a good tradesman. I'm just a pretender.
Anyway,
all right. So I'll just top the top of my head.
top 5 designs of Fremantle Guernsey history. Go.
All right. 3D anchor from 98 to 2000 and 2000 and then 2022. Number 1. That's probably number 1 anyway. The stealth, love it. Please stop dancing.
Trying to put you off.
What's going on?
Trying to put you off.
The Fremantle stealth jumper that they wore this year, not last year. Last year's was good. This year's was perfection, really. After that, I will go the 2000 and forgot what I was going to say then. Completely butchered it.
2000, early 2000s.
2004 away.
You're welcome.
Love that. 2004 away, which was a couple of years, but 2004 is for some reason the one that sticks out to me. 2006 heritage. Don't know why, but it's different. South Fremantle colours. Parents grew up South Fremantle, mum grew up South Fremantle, and it was just super different. And they wore it 2003, 4, 5, and 6, but again, I just picked one random year. That's 4, and I actually really like this year's Indigenous, the purple version of it. It's actually a tri-panel jumper that Michael Johnson wore back in 2003, just in an Indigenous design, which I think is fantastic. I love it. That's probably up there with this year's retro. It's brilliant. And I've probably got that very wrong, but that's my answers.
Next one I think is
Alex.
Next one is a voice memo.
Yeah.
VFL.
The boys at the VFL Rewind radio program have done us a favour. They have sent in a question via their radio show, so make sure you tune in to them every Monday night as well. I'll put it downstairs so you can see where to watch that or listen to it. They've sent in their question via their show, so we're going to play that for you now. It's a little bit longer, but that's all right. We'll be back with you in about 4.5 minutes. Enjoy.
Jesus.
Well, actually, our friends at the Play Issue podcast have did out a post last week, and we thought we'd give them a bit of a chop out and a bit of help out. Yeah. They've asked us for some questions. Now, actually, I thought we'd do a bit of a chat about VFL jumpers. Yeah. Now, over the years, I know you've got a lot of VFL jumpers. You collect a lot of VFL jumpers. In your opinion, what do you reckon are probably give us a handful, the rarest VFL jumpers you can think of?
The yellow and blue of Tasmania?
Yes, I'd agree with that. That's a rare. I reckon there was probably only one set of them ever made, and they're all probably player issued, so they'd be worth a fair penny. Them ones.
Yeah. Then you had that checkered North Ballarat jumper. Remember that?
Yes, I've got one of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're multicolored. I got the blue one.
Yeah.
I remember there was one that was like green and red and yellow. I never seen that one. But
the green and white Bendigo jumper. Remember that one?
Yes, you got one of them. I remember you got one of them. That's a rarity. Yeah.
Brandon Hayes. We've got the Bendigo Diggers with the axle.
Yes, that's a rare one. There's hardly any of them. They'd definitely be in the top 5. Now for me, actually, in my top 5, I'm going to have number 1, the Borough retro jumper from the 90s.
Yep, I remember that. Yep.
I know for a fact there was only ever one set of these made, and I reckon a lot of them might have seen the rubbish bin, unfortunately, because they were.
I've got Jared Bennett's one at home.
I don't even know who I've got as mine, but I've got one.
22, I think you've got.
I think that might be right, yeah.
Because I remember when you bought it off a guy in front of the canteen.
That's right. That's right. I haven't seen one since, actually. That was a good decision. Yeah. Good decision to get that. That's probably for me the rarest. And I reckon there's another one you've got, Liashi, which is a rarity as well. The Coburg. Remember the Coburg, the seatbelt jumper?
Yes.
Yeah.
Got the breast cancer
Yeah.
one as well. With,
Yeah.
pink.
So that's a rare. So there's a few from us for the Play Issue podcast who are.
Have you got the Coburg jumper with the white line on it?
Yes, I've got that one. Yes, that's a rare one.
Yeah, that was from the early 90s because Bear Ingram wore that in a game at Springvale. I remember watching a
I couldn't believe when I seen that on Marketplace for $30. I was a bit taken back last year. I was like, I can't believe this. Because as a kid, that was a ripper jumper. I remember that was one of the first like silky jumpers that I had back in the day. So
now I'm going to tell you the worst VFL jumper I've ever seen.
Yep.
And it's still running around. The Clash, the Sandringham away jumper, or the Clash jumper, which is, let's be honest,
Yes.
it's a St Kilda jumper with blue cuffs
And Sandy on the front.
Sandy ironed onto it. So hopefully Sandringham can do something. I don't care if they go back to the baby blue, to be honest with you.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
Or the blue with the black zebra stripes, or something like that. Hopefully they do something like that. Because the current jumper what they use is
it's a shocker.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Barry Crocker, mate. That one, for the Player Issue podcast. If me and Lash had to vote on our most hated VFL jumper, that would definitely win.
Yeah, I can't think of any others that were that bad. Sort of obviously, when Northern Blues, Northern Bullhounds were wearing Carlton jumpers and all that, and Northern Blues, but you could CFC when they really should have been NBFC on the front or something like that. So,
yeah, that was shockers as well, and that's the thing we've had a lot over the years. But in saying that, VFL jumpers are quite rarely. Actually, most of the clubs have only ever had one set made.
Yep.
This is the thing that people forget with AFL jumpers and VFL jumpers is a lot of them are match worn, and a lot of them being match worn by AFL players. So their rarity is pretty scarce. So if someone does want to get into the market of collecting jumpers, the VFL jumpers is a good way to start.
Since we're talking about jumpers, and we've got a little bit of time, not much, but I hope we have a retro round. And wherever he pulls out that jumper, what you've got with the red in it.
Yes, with the red, black, and with the yellow W. Now that would be a rare one to have.
A retro round where some of the clubs that have changed their jumpers, and Franks can roll out that teal jumper.
Oh, the one you found in Malaysia.
In Malaysia on eBay.
Yes, that's right. That's a rare one. There's only one set of them made. That was an absolute shocker. Now, there you go for the Play Issue podcast. Hope we answered a few questions and asked a few questions as well. If there's anything you want to ask us from a VFL perspective, with jumpers, we're always happy to answer. So head over our socials and ask away. Me and Laushi are pretty switched on with all our jumpers, so we're always happy to help.
Thanks for that, lads. We really appreciate you sending that through. Let's get into the point of the show where it's going to end soon. So the words are escaping me. It's also 11 o'clock, so the time's gone really quickly.
No, nothing's changed.
No, it really hasn't. But no, we appreciate. So there we go again. We really appreciate you sending that through. We are very grateful. Unfortunately, I really can't tell you much about your answers or the question even because I don't really know anything about VFL jumpers. I'm so sorry. I've looked up some ones and you've shown me some and some hideous ones there for sure. But yeah. I mean, just like every other league, there are some great designs and some pretty cool stuff. A lot of them just comes back to history and how people actually feel about the design or the jumper. And of course, comes down to success as well, because not often people remember there were jumpers that had no success in, except for the 3D anchor. So often it's just more about history than it is about the design. So very interesting to hear that. They've actually asked me to come on their show in the next few weeks to talk about jumpers. So I would gladly accept, as long as you don't talk too much about VFL jumpers, because in that case, I've got nothing for you. No clue. I don't watch VFL, never have. Not that they aren't good or got some good stuff out there. It's not my. I don't have time to watch VFL, unfortunately. To watch too much footy as this. If it was up to him, I wouldn't be allowed to watch much footy at all. But well, it's fair enough because I'm always watching the footy.
Dare you?
No, I'm not saying you don't let me. You do. That's the thing.
How dare you? Every time you get home, I'm like, here's the remote. Put the footy on. I'll be watching a movie. Put the footy on.
So anyway, I don't have time to watch VFL, so I don't really have a rebuttal or anything for you.
Or maybe they can educate you.
They can educate me. So yeah, I look forward to coming on the VFL Rewind football program.
Yes.
I probably got that wrong, but I'll enjoy having a chat with you lads for sure. You sound like a good bloke. So thank you for sending through your question. I really appreciate that. And like I said, voice members, we love it. So there you go. That's what we want to hear. Is that it, Em? Is
Mhm.
that the last
Mhm.
question? All right, cool.
Mhm.
Last segment now is an hour and 19 in. So I thought we were going to get under an hour, to be honest, but it didn't happen.
Mhm.
We'll see what we can do with a little bit of editing. Last segment is what's in the cave. So do you know what? This is going to be real simple.
Do you know what? Just pick a number.
Yeah, I'm just going to pick a number. It's going to be
Keep it small.
363.
No. Excuse me. Nothing under 10.
363. Because I don't want it to be a free jumper. Sorry. No, it won't be. So 363. Enjoy. We'll be back with you guys very soon. We'll be back. We'll be back. All right. So while Em's done her thing, I've taken my jacket off because I was sweating bollocks.
You could have just turned the heater
It was hot. And I've also turned the heater off because it's cooking in here.
off.
And we're on the last segment, so it should be fine. Also, full disclosure, Em lost count. Don't know if you wanted me to tell people that, but I've told them now. She lost count. I counted the second cabinet for us, made it easy. Exactly 100. Lost count somewhere through, so she just went, zip, that one. So, Em, you may now show the people what, I was going to say Jumper 363 was, but hey, you never know. It could be.
Actually thought I did a really good pick.
Well, anyway, yeah, the jumper is fantastic, so I'm stoked about this. All right, there you go. A 1999 Western Bulldogs player issue. It's definitely player issue at least. I've also had the Bulldogs property manager at the time confirm that's definitely player issue, which is amazing because the player itself, for me, was one of my favorite players growing up. You may turn around. Number 7, Scott West, who surfer-looking dude, but tremendous football player. Should have been a Brownlow medalist. He came runner-up twice in the 2000 and 2006 Brownlow medals, which was very controversial because Shameway Woden won the Brownlow medal in 2000 when he should not have got a vote in the last round and he ended up with 2. So screwed Scotty West out of winning a Brownlow when he should have won. So fantastic player, fantastic. So he sold it to me a number of years ago now. I don't remember exactly, but I don't think he knew it was a player issue, and I wasn't sure either at the time. I just took a punt on it because I just love Scotty West and thought it was a beautiful jumper anyway. It was probably a couple $100 he sold it to me for. I took a little while getting it confirmed that it was player issue, probably about 6 months, and finally got confirmed that it was. Likely be match worn as well because the condition it's in, pulled this, that. The signature running as well was also usually a very good tell that it was worn and signed not long afterwards. So I think it's probably a good chance that was a match worn Scotty West. So Brad's been trying to get that jumper back off me for years. But like I said, Scotty West is one of my favourites, and that jumper itself was tremendous. The Robo-Dog head is still one of the greatest designs of any football jumper. Of course, it's not Western Bulldogs at all. I just said Western Bulldogs. The Footscray Bulldogs. And they went back to being Footscray Bulldogs a couple of weeks ago when they wore their retro, and I wish they would do that permanently. I still don't get it. I'm sure there's been reasons explained many times as to why they changed the Western Bulldogs. I know they play at the Western Oval, or they train at the Western Oval, or whatever. But for me, Western doesn't make any goddamn sense for a football club for me. Footscray, they're Footscray. They are based in Footscray. I believe they're still based in Footscray. So I don't get it. Please educate me again, people. No doubt I heard about it and I read about it when it happened, but I don't get why it has to be Western Bulldogs now. Please educate me and tell me if you think it's a good idea, if they should go back to being Footscray. But for me, Footscray screams Scotty West, Scott Wind, the great Teddy Whitten. I think Scotty West is up there with one of the best Bulldogs ever. People say the Bont. For me, before the Bont was Scotty West, and he probably didn't get the plaudits that he deserved, but what a player he was. So, great jumper, Em. Great pick. Well done.
Totally.
Totally. All right, well, that's it. We're done. See ya.
We're
Look, there's another thing. That's wrong arm. Oh, this is really weird, confusing. We also got these done. Em's got one as well. I'll show the camera, Em, yours. So, not long after, we both went and got these very realistic looking tattoos. We'll show you up close
Can't
as
really
well.
show you my arms. I'll twist that way around.
We'll show you up close as well. You can see them, but we'll forever remember the chuff, the great Milo, the greatest thing ever to happen to us. No doubt. There will never be another one like you. We love you very much. You got anything else to share, Em, before we leave?
Nope. Let's go before we start bowling again.
No more tears today. That's it. We're not talking anything negative or sad about Milo ever again. It's only going to be good stuff. But tune in next week, because next week we'll have the Mr. Moth himself, Jack McGinn, will be in the studio with us to talk about the book. And of course, we'll have our usual segments as well. And we'll be here to tell a joke. She's going to have a joke next week, surely.
I'm going to find a joke. I'm going to find a duck joke.
Duck jokes.
It's going to be a duck joke.
Why a duck joke?
I don't know. Duck jokes are great. It's going to be a duck joke. It's my joke, okay? So I'll pick a duck joke if I want.
Okie doke. Also lost another good friend of ours during the week as well. So rest in peace to Shannon. I don't want to say your last name, Shannon, because I don't remember how you say it. Napralek, I want to say. But Shannon, you're a great man. Great working with you, and really sad to hear of your passing last weekend. So I'm sure some of you who watched the show knew Shannon. So reach out if you're not doing so well, or if you just want to have a chat. We're here. Shannon was a very good man. So what a year it's been. It's crazy.
Oh, it's crap. Honestly, crap. 2024 can just be flushed right down the toilet.
We are going to Bali in 6 weeks or so. So hopefully we'll be able to enjoy that and take our mind off things and just wash away all the tears of this year, because it's been rough. So, but anyway, next week, Jack McGinn will be on the show, talk about the book and all things collecting in Freo. So
all things mothy.
all very mothy things.
All
Indeed.
mothy things.
Thanks, Em. Appreciate you joining me again, as always. At 11:22 at night. You got the gym tomorrow?
It's Sunday tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, no. I'm
No
not
gym.
gonna- no, I'm not
Perfect.
gonna go to the gym.
Go Freo. Carlton and the Bulldogs. I hope you lose. I will definitely be cheering against you tomorrow. You've already seen the scores, so you're either laughing at me or applauding my luck, but then probably laughing at me because Freo then lose to Port Adelaide anyway. But I guess you'll know, and I will find out tomorrow. It's going to be a shit-house day. 10:30 in the morning right through to 7 p.m. will be footy wall to wall. It's going to be very stressful.
Yay!
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you sticking with us. Sorry we took so long, but we are back. And we're back for good. Until we've had enough. Or until you guys have
Yeah,
had
until
enough.
you've had enough of us.
Drop a comment, a like and subscribe. I forgot that at the start of the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Drop a comment. Leave us a voice memo. We'd love to play it on the show.
I'll just add before we leave. Obviously, because of like everything that's happened to us, and then what's happened to Jeff and everything as well. If people out there are struggling, like we make a lot of jokes, but you can talk to us. Like we've been through it. If you're going through it, there's people there to talk to. Don't be afraid to talk to us. Don't be afraid to talk to people. Like, so just, What's the saying? It ain't weak to speak,
No.
something like that. Like, it isn't.
Definitely not.
It's not weak to cry. It's you just,
Like I say, I fully admit that I've cried just about every single day for the last 6 months, and I've cried in front of a lot of people, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. That's how much they mean to us.
I'll leave you with like a really nice quote that someone said to me the other day, which was like really sad, but it also was really nice. She said, "Grief is like the ocean." She's like, at the very beginning, the seas are really rough. And she's like, and you just feel like you just can't breathe and you're not going to make it through it. And she said, over time, the waves get slower and slower and less. She's like, but they're never fully gone. They're always there, but they get further and further apart. Just like your grief, it sort of gets further and further apart. It's not as bad, but it's always there. Yeah.
There you go. Some wisdom from Em to end the show today.
I'm a changed woman. That's it. Bye, everyone.
It's all been cancer, so make sure you get your bits and your nuts checked. But most importantly, and this is a very important thing to say, fuck cancer. Thank you, everybody. See you next week. We love you very much. Have a good one. Saya. Bye-bye. Adios. Woo.